Blizzard have a new plan, and I believe this plan will save Overwatch. Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to the channel. I'm Stylosa. So here's the thing, Blizzard have got a brand new plan for Overwatch 2, and in this video what I'm going to do is break down an absolutely excellent interview that has been conducted by GameSpot with Aaron Keller. This is by far and away the best video I've ever seen of Aaron Keller. He's very relaxed, he's just telling you how it is. This is what you want from somebody who is the head of this game. It is fantastic to see. Nobody likes all the PR garbage and all that stuff. Like, we really love it. We think you're going to love this game. This game's going to be... No one cares, right? We want details, we want facts, we want to know what is going on with the game, and Aaron is starting to give us that, and it is super, super cool. So throughout this video, interspersed between me kind of talking absolute garbage, there will be clips of Aaron Keller talking about the game, taken from GameSpot. As I said, it's an excellent interview.
On top of that, this is the largest update we've ever released for the game. There are a lot of new things coming out in October. With new heroes and new maps, we have a new competitive system coming out, and there's so much more to come. So by going free to play with Overwatch, we are not just giving people a different way of interacting with the game. The development team itself is thinking about the way we create and release content in a totally new way. The amount of content it takes to run a free-to-play live service game is orders of magnitude more than what it takes to run something that you put into a box and sell it. So the whole Overwatch team, it's totally like restructured and grown. It's over 3 times the size it was when we launched the original game. And it's structured in such a way that we can simultaneously work on things for the launch and the rest of this year, but next year as well. And I think this is also a shift in the way we think about releasing big pieces of the game. So rather than just developing things and holding them and then combining them to put into a box, we're now committed to releasing them when they're ready and doing that for the long term. The Overwatch team, we're still working on all of the parts, all of the PvE parts of Overwatch 2 that we've always envisioned for it. But now, rather than releasing them in a box, we're going to be releasing them as part of our seasonal cadence. I know that there's a lot here, but really this is a demarcation point for Overwatch, where the way we create and release content is different, and even the way we think about and run the game is different. So, in my opinion, this justifies putting the two after Overwatch.
From October the 4th, Overwatch will launch as a live service game. This will absolutely save the game because the game needs momentum. Overwatch is transitioning from a boxed game where you had a ton of content at launch to a game which is going to provide you with continuous content. And with continuous content comes continuous momentum, which means in this massive fight for everybody's attention, it is not just between gamers. It's not like, shall I play Apex? Shall I play Valorant? Shall I play Overwatch? It's also, shall I watch Netflix, Prime Video? You know, there's so many different things vying for your attention. And what makes things feel alive is if they've got momentum. So to me, that is why the Battle Pass and the live service operation of the game is going to be huge, because it gives the game momentum. Of course, we still don't know details of the Battle Pass and stuff, but you know, we'll get onto that hopefully when the details are launched. We need the opposite to what Overwatch was in the past, and I think this new model allows that. We will get content sooner. With PvE being dropped until next year, which is, you know, that's a shame, but at least we're starting to get content now in Overwatch 2. Free-to-play will bring in more players, and the game desperately needs more players. But free-to-play isn't all roses and sunshine and the best thing ever, because with free-to-play comes more hackers, comes more smurfs. But Blizzard are kind of already trying to deal with this. You may not have noticed, but to play Overwatch 2, you actually have to link a mobile phone or a phone number to your Battle.net account, as you simply cannot play the game. And that is absolutely one of their first efforts to try and reduce the number of smurfs and hackers. That will be in free-to-play.
There's a lot of new content coming to Overwatch, and we're going to be releasing all of it on a seasonal basis. And our seasons are going to run roughly 9 weeks. Roughly every other season, if not a little bit more, we'll be adding a new hero to the game. And on our other seasons, we're adding things like new maps, new game modes, and as well as events. Actually, I think events we're hoping to have in as many seasons as we possibly can, just because they're like a really fun moment for players to just kind of explore different parts of the game. Going free to play is a pretty big change for a team and for a game. The last thing we want to do is put all of our resources into developing this release for October 4th and then have everybody on the team burn out, have everybody want to take a vacation. October is the start of Overwatch 2. It's the beginning of a new era for the game, and it really just marks the moment where we need to start releasing more and more content for players. And so we have to structure a team that can work on a lot of different pieces of content at the same time, a lot of different seasons, and it's not just cosmetic content, but it's heroes, it's maps, it's game modes, it's new features and systems, it's new events for the game. And so to be able to do all of that for multiple seasons all at the same time it's a pretty massive shift for us to be able to actually hit.
There will be a new hero every 18 weeks. This is, I'm going to say this is huge. This is also basically how Overwatch was in the past when the game was receiving content, but this is still huge. This means every 18 weeks, give or take, there will be a new hero in the game, but in between those seasons, there'll be a game mode, a map, and the plan is to launch a hero every other season, although I'm sure there'll be exceptions to that rule. Maybe for some seasons we'll get a hero, then we might get one for the following season. A 9-week seasonal model means more content, and it also means that every 2 and a bit months, Blizzard are kind of going to provide the game with content, and that's massive, because we have not had content in this game for so long, and I have said before, I think that's a testament to the game's actual, I guess, popularity and design, and the fact that it is very unique, that it has still been able to maintain a player base for, nigh on 3 years without any actual substantial content. PvE will come in 2023. Aaron has also confirmed that this is a AAA campaign, so I probably expect a box price for this whenever it launches, and if it's coming in 2023, I'd imagine it will probably launch in maybe October or November of that year. Okay, let's talk about this Battle Pass, because there are pros and cons to a Battle Pass. The issue is we don't really know the details of the Overwatch Battle Pass. All we have seen is a mock-up of the way it could potentially look. However, if we ignore that and we go, let's take Battle Pass and a store and just take them as two ideas, plugging them into Overwatch, what do? Well, firstly, there's no more random loot box gambling, which is great because loot boxes are absolutely garbage. Also, nobody's really buying Overwatch loot boxes anymore, and I don't think people really bought them that much anyway beyond the first maybe year or two of the game, because you could just earn them so fast through playing the game anyway, so why would you buy them? There's no incentive really to do that. Now, as I said, we don't have enough details on the Battle Pass to go into detail on the way it functions, but I hope it's not terrible. And that's a pretty broad thing to say, but I hope it is not terrible. Every 9 weeks, we will get a new Battle Pass, and I would imagine the store will probably be updated every week or so with different items and things like that you can buy. Now, there will be a free and a premium Battle Pass. This is, again, pretty standard across the industry. This Battle Pass doesn't seem to be revolutionizing anything. It's just like a Battle Pass. But what I would say to Blizzard, and I would throw this out there, I would challenge them to copy the Halo premium Battle Pass model. Halo Infinite is a fairly decent game, but it suffered with not great content and blah, 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 blah. But one thing it had, which was really awesome, is if you bought a premium Battle Pass, it never expired. You could always go back and complete that Battle Pass. Even if another Battle Pass comes out, you can buy that as well and then go back and complete that. That is awesome. That is actually huge. If Blizzard do that, I will be that is a major positive move for the consumer, because no one wants to buy something and having it sort of taken off them. That feels crap. So I hope they don't do that. But I think Call of Duty's Battle Pass just disappears after 9 weeks or so, and then that's the end of that. So yeah, probably we'll have to deal with that kind of system.
Developing content for a live service game, a free-to-play live service game, is a pretty major undertaking. I understand that there can be some doubt from the community as to whether or not the team is up to this task. We have really grown and really reorganized this team, all with the singular focus of being able to create as much content as we can and to put it out on a consistent and frequent seasonal basis. We have multiple heroes, multiple post-release heroes in development as we speak. One of them is already almost ready to go. And so I feel like for the foreseeable future, this is a cadence that we can hit. We wouldn't put something into a public-facing roadmap if we didn't have a pretty high degree of confidence that we would be able to actually hit the dates that we were promising to the public. When we initially announced Overwatch 2, we presented a vision of a PvP game that had a big PvE component to it at the same time. And as we developed that game, what it meant was that the PvP side of the game was coupled, or was joined with the PvE side of the game. And so the release of any PvP content was now being gated by the amount of time it took for us to build the PvE side of the game. And as that took longer, it meant that there was less focus going into the live side of the game. And this, I feel like this went against one of the core values that the Overwatch team has always had, which is to be able to deliver content regularly for our players. And so the longer that went, I think we realized that we had to change something. And so I understand that there was a vision of what Overwatch 2 was, but we are changing that. And the reason that we are changing that is because we want to be able to get content to our players as soon as we possibly can. We think that that is the right thing to do for our community. We think it's the right thing to do for the game. It's the right thing to do for all of our players. And so that was the initial impetus of what caused us to completely change our strategy.
So what about problems? Because, while I think Blizzard are actually on the verge of saving the game here, and this is absolutely the right direction to take the game, there are problems. So can Blizzard keep up with this aggressive 9-week content plan? Now, Aaron seems to think they can, and maybe even they can do things a little bit faster, but this is a major undertaking because you've got to completely change the way this game has been built over the last few years. And Aaron, again, has alluded to this, saying they've changed the way the game, referring to the game as a massive ship. They've changed the direction of the ship. Off it goes to new waters, and these waters are constant updates, battle passes, all of this stuff. So yeah, there still is a big question mark over whether Blizzard can actually deliver. Now, they might deliver, and they might deliver, hey, here's skins, here's items, here's emotes, whatever. But then the question becomes the quality of them. Will they be as good as what we were used to? When we go back and we look at Overwatch's new content history, it actually is kind of weak. If we go back and look at Echo, she came out, I think, on April the 14th, 2020. That's a long time ago now, a really, really long time ago. And of course, I think we knew we knew about the hero a few months before that. But yeah, like she is. When I say that, guys, obviously we know about Echo for years because she was in the Ashe cinematic and all that stuff. But I think the point from when we got from knowing that she was going to be a playable hero to getting her in the game, I think it was a few months before April in 2020. But there was a massive issue after this, wasn't there? We had all of the problems at Blizzard with their legal problems, to very briefly wrap all of that up. But also, Blizzard were obviously struggling with what the hell they were doing with Overwatch 2. And I don't think we'll ever get down to the nitty-gritty details on this. There could have just been a case where PvE was the focus and PvP was left behind, and they were still going for a box model system. Instead, they have obviously struggled back and forth. Maybe things got canned, new projects, and all of that stuff, all the woes of development, I guess you could say. And we do know that only towards the end of last year, they actually decided to go free to play. So yeah, it's a bit of a mess, and I'm worried that maybe they change direction again, or they suddenly make, maybe rash decisions. I don't know. But I will say, though, I do believe what they're doing right now is probably the only thing they can do to try and reinvigorate the game. If Overwatch was supported fully from launch up until right now, how big would this game be? When Overwatch launched, it was massive hype. Like, hype levels you have never seen before. Obviously, now we've seen hype levels like this. There's loads of games that have come out. But Overwatch was like, it was the heyday of Blizzard. This was before any of their troubles came to light. It was, wow, a brand new IP from Blizzard. This is fantastic. It was a highly polished first-person game. This is insane. Like, we've not even... Blizzard had no shooter. Now they do. It was amazing. But then the game lost all of its momentum. Overwatch League probably was one of the co-factors to that. Obviously, going PvE with Overwatch 2 is another issue. You know, you can pile up all these issues. But it ran out of steam. It ran out of momentum. The problem now is they've got to get that back, and they know this. So they are going free to play with a battle pass. They're committing to very aggressive, frequent updates to the game. This is all big talk, and I'm sure they've got big plans and they've got a big team for this. But where will we be in a year? That, I think, is the key takeaway from all of this. Because if we look back in a year and go, oh my God, it's been incredible. We've had all these new events during the battle passes. The battle pass has been awesome. The mythic skins have been awesome. The new items are awesome. The competitive system's awesome. The gameplay is fantastic. The new heroes are fantastic. The new game modes are fantastic. Then we can look back and go, this is absolutely the right move. It was awesome. However, if we end up with a lot of mediocre content and people start losing interest, it's going to be difficult for Blizzard to rebuild. Now, I hope what Blizzard are trying to do here, the plan, is to clone what Apex has managed to pull off. Apex came out, and Apex had a ton of content because it was a brand new game. And then they said, you know what, we can't actually update this game anymore. Well, it's going to be 3 months before we can do any more updates because we're not burning out our developers, which is absolutely fair. You shouldn't burn the developers out. But over time, they managed to change their workflow to get to a point where they are now, where they are constantly releasing content. Now, I hope that Blizzard have spent the last 3 years doing that process without the mediocre updates to the game. They've basically sat there, they've retooled themselves, they've got a new idea, they know how they're going to do this, a new direction, they've got a new leader, everything else is in place, and they're going to go forward and they're going to revive this game. Because God knows I'd like to see this game go back to the levels it used to be at, because I still love this game. I'm still adamant this is the best game that I have ever played. And I would say that, made thousands of videos. It's essentially been my job for the last 5-6 years to make content on this game. So I would say that. So do take that with a pinch of salt. However, let me know if you agree with all of this in the comments below, guys. Remember, there are a lot of caveats with all of this stuff. The battle pass could be horrendously predatory. The monetization system could be ridiculous in the store. Items could cost stupid amounts of money. We don't know. We just do not know any of the details. And when we get them, I will endeavor to bring those details to you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching the video. Remember, you can follow me on everything, which is at Stylosa. It is at StylosaUL on TikTok. Also, do leave a comment, subscribe, and like the video. That helps an absolute ton. In fact, I'd be really interested to see what you guys think about this. So do leave detailed comments below. Again, these might feature in a future video. But yeah, apart from that one, guys, I'll catch you on the next one. See you soon.